Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Deshond. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or commentaries or reviews, topics, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for a film called The Rocker from 2008. And the funny thing is, I remember this DVD cover, if I'll have it here. I remember that a lot of times in the stores back in the day, and also when I worked at the video store. And I would never like see anyone rent the film. There's a lot that was when they're off the shelf at the video store, they would go for sale. Not a lot of people bought them, but I always remember that cover. And I don't know why. Maybe because I never saw it. Rainn Wilson, I'm indifferent on. I didn't watch much of The Office. He played Dwight on The Office TV show. I didn't watch much of it. I know of it. I've seen bits of it. The bits of it seem fine. He was also in The Meg. He was also in, I think, this film called Super, which I was in the middle of. I did see Super. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was there. It was there. At least for me. This seemed like a lesser version of School of Rock with Jack Black. In a way. It was harmless fluff. I say it's not a rant. A lot of times I say that, then in the middle it becomes a rant. But no, this one I didn't find that funny. But it at least tries to be a bit sweeter than you think it is. There was nothing in it that made me mad or angry. Yeah, Rainn Wilson's the star. He's the drummer of this band called Vesuvius. In the 80s, they're doing well. They're ready to get a contract. But you gotta ditch the drummer. And they're like, no, no, he's one of us. Well, if you do, you don't open for Whitesnake. Okay, yeah, he'll land on his feet. What's funny is people in the band, one of them is Will Arnett, and the other is Bradley Cooper. Yes, who'd go to be in The Hangover, and yes, Bradley Cooper. So obviously he gets ditched years and years later, about 20 years later. He's working a job, he loses it, and he is able to hang out a bit at his sister's place. The sister's played by Jane Lynch. He's in the attic. And his nephew is played by Josh Gad. And to be honest, Josh Gad usually irritates the fuck out of me. He's not that bad here, because he's much more soft-spoken. In fact, he kind of seemed like Jonah Hill in this. Like, this seemed like an early Jonah Hill role. But they didn't get Jonah Hill, so they got this guy. But again, Josh Gad, a lot of times he annoys me. Like I said, he's much more tolerable here, because he's more soft-spoken. He's not being over the top. Even his voice, much softer, much easygoing, much easier to listen to. So the nephew, Josh Gad, has his band. We have a singer. He writes the songs, and usually they're emo type of songs, but because his dad left him. And that's where you get at least... The movie does have a decent bit of heart, because Rainn Wilson relates to the kid and tries to pep him up. Hey, I like your songs, they're cool, and you know what? Don't go chasing something you'll never get back. And you know what? It's his loss. Not your loss. It's his loss that he left you. You know, he's trying to be a nice guy. But he's this that guy's a singer. Josh Gad, I forgot what he did on the band, and then Emma Stone was part of the band. Yes, who would be Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. She was in the Zombieland films. Emma Stone. So it was cool to see an earlier role from her. She does fine. They're playing at the prom. They need a new drummer. Rainn Wilson's like, okay, I'll do it. Things are going well, but then he started doing a solo, fucks things up. But he's like, hey, if I get a gig for us, one thing leads to another. they practice through iChat while during the iChat, kind of like it was, I would say Skype, a Zoom, like a Zoom call. It's recorded. While he's doing it, he's naked. It gets on to YouTube and other places. It gets some talk viral, goes viral, and all of a sudden, this is weird. This guy who's naked and drumming with these other people. Okay, but then we started listening to the songs, and hey, we really like the song, so we want you on a tour. And the movie just, for me, was never that much of a laugh out loud funny experience. Christina Applegate is in the film from Married with Children, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. She's there ultimately as a chaperone to play babysitter because Rainn Wilson was wrecking hotels, tried to do the typical rock star thing on a tour. Again, Josh Gad, he's fine here. He's not overbearing. Pretty much they go on a tour. Again, there's just not a lot of stuff I remember that I found that remarkably funny. And then, hey, you guys are doing so well. You don't play in front of Vesuvius. Or where the hell? Yeah, Vesuvius. Because they're going to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. After he's like, no, I'm not dealing anything with them. Fine, leave. They get a new drummer, it's lazy. The singer has to go and apologize to him. Like I said, there's sweetness and warmth. And it doesn't try to do a lot of raunchy, stupid, farting dick jokes. It doesn't try to do that either. Maybe it just depends on how you feel. Like, Rainn Wilson is there, but to me, he wasn't a comic star quality guy. At least to me. He's not, Rodney Dangerfield or Bill Murray or Chevy Chase or Jack Black or Jim Carrey. Rainn Wilson's like, okay, you work better in a supporting role. As a lead, it's there. I don't know, maybe if you're more of a hardcore Rainn Wilson fan, you get more out of this than I did. I didn't hate the film. There are a few moments that made me smirk. Like when they find his old band, Vesuvius, they're doing these fake British accents. Even though they don't come from there, but they're doing it just because they're posers. They do try to at least have the character, Rainn Wilson, have an arc. Like, hey, you know what, last week I'd be trying to attack you, but this week, you know what, have a great show. And things work out poorly for that band, works out great for Rainn Wilson's band. So it all works out at the end. But I mean, you've seen this kind of stuff before, done multiple times, better. The guy who his past glory's behind him, he didn't get the chance, he gets a second chance, he gets with other people to hopefully get that second chance. There's some stumbling blocks along the way, but it works out at the end. Of course, you got a bit of a love story as well. This point between him and Christina Applegate. Again, you have familiar faces in there. Maybe that could get some entertainment out of you. There's nothing egregious or bad, but there's nothing that remarkable and hilarious either. It's just one of those that's just fine. It's fine. Because there's really nothing really that made me that mad. It's just, It's just a lot of movies that deal with rock and comedy. There's better choices. There's This Is Spinal Tap. There's Detroit Rock City, which I pleasantly was surprised by. There's, again, School Rock with Jack Black. I found a bit funnier than this. It's just there. It's fine. It's harmless. Again, I'm surprised that it had a little bit more heart than I thought it would have, and it was not so much fart dick jokes. I think the furthest it went is at times Rainn Wilson sweats a lot, or at one point he puked a little bit before a show. But it was like a little bit. It wasn't a big gargantuan spectacle. And this film came out, it did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. It came and went. I'm sure a lot of people are like, what the hell is this movie? Yeah, I mean, you got a point. I did. Watch the trailer. Think Rainn Wilson, I don't, I'm indifferent on, like I said. It was what it was, and the songs at the band scenes are fine. But at the same time, nothing I would re-listen to again. But they were fine. I mean, they were. It's like, oh my god, they're so bad. How the hell could anyone like this? It wasn't that either. I just don't know what else to say about it. So I apologize to Deshaun for that. Because, like, they made me mad. But it didn't make me laugh a whole lot either. Again, very indifferent. Kind of like this review. So, yeah, I apologize for that. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.